It's crisp fall day in a neighborhood in Tacoma, Washington, and they are having their annual vintage clothing and collectible sale. I've never been to this one. I'm going to see what it's like. Let's go check it out. Okay, so each one is a different vendor, and we have to pay each one as we go. I like Little Lulu. Let's check out some art first. The Mexican piece is fun, great color. Samuel Smith, wow. The Toreador, that's quite a big old silk piece. Some 70s decoupage. $48 on the Bears. I like vintage fashion. I don't wear a lot of it, although I do have some pretty cool old ties. Pendleton, good brand around here. Very specific 80s colors. Here's a maxi skirt, couple of them actually, right out of the 60s and early 70s. We're getting close to sweater weather, and they certainly have a lot of the 80s style sweaters in here. Padson's and children's books. Beverly Cleary was always a favorite of mine, and they're asking $20 for all of them, which is actually a pretty good price. Cute little Laredo boots with the fringe there. Those look like the hiking boots I used to rent from REI back in the day. All right, this looks a little different, more like sports apparel. Gitano, I remember when that was a big brand. Kmart, attention Kmart shoppers. Bar Hopper, this is an old foam front, that's kind of cute. Don't know what the prices are on these. The bag is the old Seahawks logo. Well, it's the Northwest, so you're going to see plaid. Andrew Fifth Avenue, this looks like something that was made in America. So we know it has some vintage, probably 1960s or 70s. Speaking of REI, there is an REI piece from probably the 90s. This was definitely what we wore in my high school years. I do look for vintage jeans because I am a strange size that is sort of hard to find because they don't carry them in stores anymore. They used to, but now you have to order everything if you're my size. I'm a 30-34, but I don't see anything in that size here. Soccer is a kick. In the early 90s, soccer gear became very fashionable to wear amongst high school students, as I recall. The Who America Tour 1982. I went to that concert. How much is a Who t-shirt from that era now? $140. I should have bought a couple. This was in the period in the early 80s where slightly long short sleeves were in the style. Okay, they have some objects in here, which is a little more my gig. Some nice belt buckles. I like the little ashtray. Cute cup, wish it had its saucer. Salisbury bone china. The miniature version of the peacock chair. Perfect for your doll. $1 each on vintage matchbooks. There are definitely collectors of vintage matchbooks. This one is Village Inn. Yeah, back when they were localized. Only in Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and Nevada. This is back in the 60s. Of course, they're all over now. The Lloyd's clock radio. I'm pretty sure my parents had that one. And a Garrard portable stereo in the walnut case. I like the owl. Let's see what they want for the old pins here. This one is kind of cool here. I'll have to ask the price on that. This one is actually kind of a good look for being that color tone. This one needs some cleaning. Then we'll have to find somebody and find out what this runs. It's $30 on the fondue pot. That Happy Kelly reed was very popular in 1975. Hush Hush pantyhose. Was that because no one was supposed to know you were wearing them, or because you were not wearing pants? $10 out of the 1970s. Sunny Jim peanut butter. This was a big brand around here in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Oh, she was very nice. She sold me the 2 pins for $5 each. This is very 60s. The Partridge Family come to life. Her shop is Grit City Goods here in Tacoma. $20 on this. This looks like 80s colors. British Lady, but made in the United States. Looks like something Audra Lindley would have worn on Three's Company. I just sold a purse like this with a good label for $75. This one's priced $40. It's in great condition. Natural skin purse. And this one is Palacio, New York. And this is cute. This is very California hippie 1970 era. My sister had a lot of bags like this. And this one could use a little polishing, but that would be easy enough to do. And it's $30. The important thing is that the strap is in good shape. Look at these paisley smocks right out of about 1970, $18, $12 on the polka dot. Those are very fun. Now they have lingerie and intimate wear, which is something that you don't see a lot in vintage fashion. Not very many of the people who do vintage fashion do this particular category. There is a customer for it, though. And I see prices anywhere from about $15 to $40, depending. More vintage you need to see in the backyard. All right, well, we're going to go. If it's more vintage you need to see, well, come along for the ride. We do lots of fun things here on the Antique Nomad Live and Shorts channels, as well as our main channel. Hit that subscribe button, and you can click that bell to be notified of all of our future videos. Booth here seems to have a lot more objects. I really like this general paint guy. He's on some old plywood. He's not in great shape, but he's sure cool. They've got a bunch of fobs here. I like the Native Americans, $30. Starrett tools, that's an older one. You can tell from this sort of pie crust shape. That's going to be 1920s or so. There are collectors of these. Their prices are kind of top end, but they are really cool. Old keys, old Union buttons, old airplane wings. There's Eastern Airlines. I have seen the future. This was from GM's Futurama exhibit at the 1939 to 40 New York World's Fair. Interesting little bronze fob there, $40. The lion with the, looks like, is that supposed to be the 10 Commandments? Old Washburn Crosby gold medal flower pin. Actually a button, yes, a stud. Nice looking watch case here. It feels like it's just the case. I think it's empty. This would have been a lady's size. But this would be fun to repurpose in some way. Maybe put a locket of some loved one's hair in like they did in the old days. I'm assuming these are brothers. They look a lot alike. 1890s tintype. Heidelberg beer. This is a great piece. Heidelberg is a Tacoma brand, local, and this is in really nice shape. Good chalkware piece. Yeah, I met Tony Berg way back in the Burlington days, back about 30 years ago, and he got into the business, and he really has a good eye and gets really great stuff. So if you have the chance to run across him, well, you'll find something really fun. Look at the really nice selection of straight razors here. These are the kind you hope to find with a lot of interesting blades and covers, and the condition is really good, which matters a lot on these.
Oh my word.
Look at this great stove advertiser. So this is Amicab. This is local because it's Tacoma spelled backwards, and they did spices and baking powder and coffee, and this crate is from about 1910. These are pretty hard to find, and you see it's for Zeppa Roasted Coffee, one of their brands. Oh, and here's another really good packing company crate. This is Tacoma Packing with salmon, because of course we're in the Northwest. They do have a lot of cool stuff here. Orbis is a good company, even though these are Chinese made. The older ones are from Vermont, and if you can find the USA ones especially, they're really good. I remember this thermos from being a kid. $60 on this psychedelic op art blacklight poster from about 1968, it says. This one has sort of an Indian feel to it. Also $60 from the same era. And this one's priced at $90. Love the clouds. And his son is joining him in the business and has some pretty cool vinyl. Colored vinyl, I keep mentioning. Yes, that is a thing. Absolutely. More colored vinyl here. See, a lot of them were done as limited editions. That's part of the reason colored vinyl is good. This one is sealed. That makes a difference, of course. All right, we have more fashion and some other things here. I do like this purse, $36. It's an interesting combination of lucite and then this sort of fuzzy I guess you'd call it tapestry and beading. I mean, it's kind of a little bit of everything. It's funny because this would have been grandma chic back when it came out around 1970, but now I could see some young person who likes fall colors rocking this thing. Smokey the Bear, $20. He's a foam front. I've never seen this one before. Smokey stuff's pretty collectible. This might actually be a good deal for resale. I lost a coat very similar to this around 1977. My mother was not happy. She paid $40 for that coat. Wilson suede. Ooh, that's nice. I always like suede. And this is an old U.S. made one from Wilson's. Back when they were known for their Beverly Hills location, then they became a national chain. $78. It's not the smartest thing to buy. We have beautiful weather today, but you can see by the tree in the background, fall is coming and it'll get pretty wet up here in Washington. Eddie Bauer, of course, a very important Seattle name. $45 on that coat from the 90s. And look how fun this print is. It even has the neckerchief. This is Indiana vintage. $70 on that 60s dress. That is really cute. Behind is the Betty Boop t-shirt. She became so popular in the 80s and 90s. And a lot of new stuff was made of her. There's not much from the 20s and 30s because, well, it was the Depression. They just didn't make a lot. This is fun with the beads. $65. Screen print made in Japan. That's a lot of fun from the 70s. A lot of good 70s colors. Ooh, I like that one with the checkerboard. And that's trying to look kind of Native American, I guess. It's a 70s zip-up dress in polyester. All the polyesters that gave their life for these. Well, this turned out to be a really fun little sale to shop. I found a couple of things and got to see people with really cool stuff, and I'll have to put this on my list for the next time they do it. Apparently they do it a couple times a year.